Welcome, I'm Rachel Maddow. Tonight, the sudden announcement that Amazon will close all 7 of its Quebec facilities over the next 2 months has left more than 1,700 employees facing an unexpected and difficult transition. Workers arrived expecting a normal day, only to learn that the jobs many had spent years building would soon disappear. For employees who rose through the ranks from entry-level roles to supervisory positions, this news felt like a painful reset, erasing stability and progress they had worked hard to earn. Communities that had grown around these workplaces now face the emotional and financial shock that comes with such a large and rapid displacement. The company's decision affects not just the individuals inside these warehouses, but also the broader networks of families, local services, and neighborhoods that relied on the certainty of steady employment. The structural shift in Quebec's logistics, Amazon's withdrawal, marks a significant shift in Quebec's logistics infrastructure, instantly reshaping how goods move in and out of the province. With the closure of fulfillment hubs, sorting centers, last-mile delivery stations, and large item processing sites, Quebec's role in the company's distribution network shrinks abruptly. The nearest fulfillment center will now be in Ottawa, meaning longer delivery routes and greater dependence on operations outside the province. This changes the flow of shipments, fuel use, transport contracts, and warehouse strategies across Eastern Canada. The effects extend into the surrounding economy as smaller logistics operators, transportation firms, and local distributors reevaluate their own roles amid a sudden reshuffling of regional supply chain responsibilities. The human cost behind the numbers. While job losses may appear as statistics on a spreadsheet, the human reality is far more personal. For thousands of workers, Amazon represented a consistent source of income, benefits, and career advancement. The closures disrupt daily life for many families who must now face difficult decisions about budgeting, job searches, and in some cases, relocation. The impact stretches into household routines, childcare arrangements, rent commitments, and long-term plans that depended on steady employment. Beyond financial concerns, the emotional stress of sudden job loss, especially after years of loyalty and effort, adds weight to a transition that no one expected. The closures create an abrupt divide between the predictable work patterns employees once relied on and the uncertainty now facing them. Unionization and its broader implications. One of the most scrutinized elements of this development is the fact that Quebec was home to Amazon's only unionized facility in Canada. Workers at a delivery station in Laval succeeded in unionizing in 2023, seeking better wages, improved health and safety standards, and access to fair negotiations. After the certification process was upheld by the Provincial Labour Tribunal, the union began working toward a collective agreement. The timing of Amazon's province-wide withdrawal has raised concerns among labor advocates about what this means for organizing efforts in other regions. While Amazon attributes the closures to business restructuring, the situation becomes a reference point for provinces across Canada where workers are considering or pursuing unionization. The broader labor movement will likely study Quebec's experience closely as it shapes discussions about worker rights, corporate negotiations, and future organizing strategies. A changing delivery landscape? Amazon's decision to shift Quebec's deliveries to third-party carriers introduces a fundamental change in how packages will move across the province. For years, Amazon built its reputation on tightly controlled logistics, managing everything from warehouse operations to last-mile delivery. By turning to independent carriers, the company opens the door to a more decentralized system involving various private operators. This transition may create new opportunities for local delivery businesses, but may also introduce uneven service quality, longer delivery times, and operational challenges while new partners adjust to the scale and speed previously maintained by Amazon's internal teams. The change echoes moves by other major retailers in the past, demonstrating how large corporations sometimes shift models to manage cost, logistics, or changing market conditions. National impacts and economic signals. Amazon's departure from Quebec is generating national conversation about corporate confidence and investment decisions within Canada. When a major company withdraws from an entire region, it sends signals that other corporations, governments, and investors pay close attention to. It prompts questions about the business environment, regulatory climate, and long-term economic stability of the province and, by extension, the country. For Canada, this moment becomes an opportunity to examine how large employers assess regional challenges, from labor considerations to distribution efficiency, and what steps may be needed to encourage future growth. While the immediate concern is supporting displaced workers, long-term considerations include understanding how to keep the country competitive in attracting major logistics and technology investments. Automation and the future of fulfillment. The closures also intersect with a broader shift underway within Amazon and the logistics industry, the rapid rise of automation. Across many of its global facilities, Amazon is investing in robotics, AI-powered sorting systems, and automated picking technologies. These systems reshape warehouse operations by increasing speed and reducing the need for certain manual tasks. Countries with streamlined automation regulations and lower implementation barriers may be more attractive locations for highly automated warehouses. Canada's regulatory processes, which often involve slower timelines for industrial changes, could influence decisions about where companies invest in next-generation facilities. While automation brings efficiencies, it also raises important questions about the future of warehouse employment and how workers can transition into new roles as technology evolves. Geography, distance, and operational costs. Canada's geography is another key factor that shapes logistics decisions. With vast distances between population centers, transportation costs can become substantial, especially for companies built on fast delivery and high-volume distribution. Quebec, in particular, represents a large geographic region with widely dispersed markets. When global cost pressures rise, companies may reconsider whether certain regions align with their operational models. Longer transport routes, higher fuel consumption, and lower population density compared with other international markets can influence where fulfillment centers remain economically viable. These geographic realities do not diminish Quebec's value as a market, but they do illustrate why some companies adjust their strategies based on the balance between demand, distance, and distribution cost. International trade pressures and industry decisions. Recent changes in North American trade dynamics, including the introduction of new tariffs affecting cross-border movement, add another layer of complexity. Increased costs associated with importing or distributing goods can influence where multinational companies centralize their operations. For some businesses, operating closer to or within the United States may offer strategic advantages if cross-border expenses rise. While Amazon has not tied its Quebec decision to trade policy, broader economic trends play a role in shaping corporate strategy. If operating in Canada becomes significantly more expensive compared with nearby regions, companies may adjust their footprint accordingly. Understanding these pressures helps explain how local closures can be connected to larger international economic forces. The challenge of absorbing a large workforce. As warehouses wind down operations, Quebec's labor market faces the immediate challenge of absorbing more than 1,700 workers with specialized skills in logistics, distribution, inventory management, and transportation. Many of these employees have experience with modern warehouse technologies and fast-paced fulfillment environments, making them valuable to numerous industries. Still, the sudden influx of job seekers can intensify competition for available roles, particularly during periods of economic slowdown. Human resource departments across the province, along with employment agencies and government programs, will play a crucial role in helping workers transition into new opportunities. The speed at which these workers can find stable employment will influence both household recovery and broader economic resilience. The ripple effect on local businesses and suppliers. The impact of a major employer leaving extends beyond its immediate workforce. Local businesses that supplied goods, equipment, or services to the warehouses may experience reduced demand. Transport companies that relied on Amazon routes will need to adapt to shifting networks. Restaurants, shops, and service providers near the facilities may also feel the decline in daily foot traffic from employees. Though these secondary effects vary by community, they form an important part of the broader economic landscape. The challenge for the affected regions will involve attracting new business, repurposing industrial space, and creating alternative sources of employment to support long-term stability. Consumer experience and service adjustments for consumers. Amazon's departure means changes in how deliveries arrive in Quebec. Packages will continue to be shipped, but with fulfillment handled through centers outside the province and deliveries conducted by third-party carriers, customers may experience differences in speed or reliability, especially during peak seasons. While Amazon aims to maintain service standards, transitions of this scale take time to fully stabilize. Residents may notice adjustments as logistics partners refine their routes and processes. Even if price or availability remains largely unchanged, the shift serves as a reminder of how dependent modern retail experiences are on underlying infrastructure that often goes unnoticed until disrupted. A province moving into recovery. In the months ahead, Quebec's focus will rest on recovery, supporting affected workers, attracting new investments, and determining how best to utilize the large industrial spaces Amazon is leaving behind. While the closures present serious challenges, they also open opportunities for new businesses, innovative distribution models, or local companies looking to expand. Economic shifts of this magnitude are rarely simple or painless, but they can prompt important conversations about how to build more resilient systems, strengthen labor protections, and diversify the sectors that sustain regional economies. Quebec's ability to adapt and rebuild will shape how the province emerges from this moment and what lessons the rest of Canada may take from its experience.